All right, so this week Steven's supposed to release the first build of CodeSpells. So I wanted to check in with him this week to see how development's going and see if he's run into any hiccups. So let's go to Steven. How is the new build going? You're planning on getting that released this week, right?
I think so, yeah. So the way it's going to work is people will install the CodeSpells Racket package, and then there's a line of code that you run that will fetch the demo version of CodeSpells World, or a demo version of a CodeSpells World, and a demo version of a CodeSpells Ether.
Okay.
And it'll launch CodeSpells with those things. It's actually, I can run it now, I think. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it from the camera.
You might be able to.
It's a little line of code that says, once upon a time, Ether, demo Ether, world, demo world. I dropped my mouse.
Magic happens. Hey, yeah, you got the demo world. Cool.
Yeah, so the demo world is a stripped down world that I'm hoping I can have the bare minimum of stuff in there, and it's going to be just like a hello world kind of application for anyone to test out CodeSpells. Hopefully the simplest thing is the easiest to make work cross-platform, which I would like to do. I'd hate for it to be locked into just Windows.
Yeah.
Even though there might be certain worlds that are just Windows or whatever, depending on what plugins for Unreal you got from the Unreal Marketplace. Not all of them are cross-platform. Even the Voxel plugin that I used says it's cross-platform, but I have to contact the developer for a special Mac build, so who knows? There's just a lot of unknowns when it comes to Unreal plugins and the whole Unreal ecosystem. But I'm hoping that a minimal subset can work as a starting point that's cross-platform. So if you, as a CodeSpells developer, want to author a work that is cross-platform, you at least have something to start with. And then the Ether right now is just has one rune in it. And I think I'm going to release it like this because it's a little bit humorous. I guess anyone who's been following knows that this is the teleport rune.
Yeah.
And I just find it funny that on this tiny platform, the one thing you could do is teleport around.
That's awesome.
But it does work. so you can get back and forth across this platform as quickly as you want with it.
That's awesome. So I know you had been working on like different worlds and CodeSpells, and you had kind of like a larger number of runes and stuff before. But the purpose of having like a really stripped down version is what?
Well, a few things, so that anyone, because I want to release this to the world, to everyone, whether they're a Patreon supporter or not. So I want to have like one that like at least verifies that CodeSpells can work on your system. Something that can be like an educational starting point for people who want to develop their own works. I don't want it to have a bunch of complicated things in it. I want it to be the minimal thing that can be considered a CodeSpells authored work. I mean, it's not very interesting, but at least it's got a 3D world with spellcrafting and at least one rune. So it's like kind of a minimal subset. But I'd like to have worlds shortly after. If I can verify that this release process works, then I'd like to have a world for Patreon supporters, and it'd be the same thing. You just write that line of code that says not demo world, but secret world for Patreon supporters, and you'd only have access to that if I add you to a private GitHub repository that has that world in it. Yeah, and then I'm hoping the ecosystem from there can kind of explode with different people making different worlds and releasing them to other people, and different people making different ethers and releasing those, and we can mix and match and whatnot.
Have you seen like the cool Discord bot that Rooney made?
I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, so they're like creating new runes with Racket code, like all of yesterday, all of today. I've been seeing some like really cool things.
Yeah, I even like showed that to Adrian and Jason yesterday. I don't know if everyone knows, but they're two of the original developers on the previous version of CodeSpells. I still keep in touch with them, but I showed them that all the activity that's happening on the Discord. They were like super impressed. Like, they thought it was really cool. So
That's awesome.
yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I think it's neat that people are creating CodeSpell stuff before there's even like a 3D
Some
world
place
to
to put
play
it.
in yet.
But theoretically, those runes that they're kind of designing could be implemented in the ether when this is released.
Yeah, and even like, there's not just one, just as there's not one CodeSpells world, there's not one CodeSpells ether, so like whatever runes you want in your ether that you can mix and match with your world or somebody else's world, you could put in.
Cool. Thanks for sitting down with me today and giving us an update about development, Stephen. All right, so it sounds like we're going to have a very simple build of CodeSpells coming out this week. I'm super excited, and I expect that we'll have more complex builds for patrons coming out pretty soon after this week, too. Thank you to everyone who became a patron before the end of last month. Y'all are awesome. I want to send special thanks to Sean Flynn, His Excellency, you know who you are. Justin, thank you. Daniel Miller, Alexander Cooney, he was involved in the first CodeSpells project. Brian Nowosatka, James M., thanks man. Caleb Brown, thanks so much for doing the interview with me. Keter, thank you. Sentient Cordyceps, I hope I'm saying that right. Jesse Hammond, thank you. Rivix, spelled R-Y-V-I-X. Maybe I'm saying that right. Kathy Franchette, thank you so much. Garrison Taylor, thank you. Linwood, you rock. Greg Lemoyne, thank you so much. And last but not least, Jean-Frédéric Faust. I think I got that right. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.